This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Apply for Apple Card today and start earning up to 3% daily cash back on everyday purchases. And that daily cash can even grow automatically when you open a high-yield savings account through Apple Card. What are you waiting for? Visit apple.co/card calculator today to see how much daily cash you can earn. Subject to credit approval. Savings available to Apple Card owners, subject to eligibility. Savings and Apple Card by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms and more at applecard.com.
You may get a little excited when you shop at Burlington.
What a low price! You see that? They have my favorite brand! It's like a whole new Burlington! I can buy two!
I'm saving so much!
Burlington saves you up to 60% off other retailers' prices every day. Will it be the low prices or the great brands? Burlington. Deals? Brands? Wow! I told you so. Styles and selections vary by store.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. Downhill Racing Meets Value Investing by Vitaliy Katsenelson of ContrarianEdge.com. I'm a skier. When someone says this, you assume he or she is good. Well, I thought I was good. I was not Lindsey Vonn, but I had the technique down. I'd be the fastest person going down the mountain, always waiting for my friends at the bottom. Then, at the beginning of last season, I went skiing with my kids at Vail. It had snowed nonstop for a few days. Vail is a very large resort, and the mountain crew could not keep up with the snow. So I found myself skiing on unusually ungroomed slopes in powder more than knee-deep. Suddenly, something changed. I could not ski. I could barely make turns. I was falling multiple times per run. My kids, including my 9-year-old daughter, Hannah, were now waiting for me as I dug myself out of pile after pile of snow. My technique, along with my confidence, was gone. The discomfort from constantly falling turned into fear. I was ready to go back to the hotel after only 2 hours on the slopes. I was devastated. It was as if I had never skied. So I talked to a ski instructor about this incident. He told me that I'm a good skier on groomed slopes because they allow me to go fast without trying hard. Speed covers up a lot of mistakes and lack of skill. Skiing in powder requires different skis, not the skis I had. But more importantly, it slows you down and makes you rely on skills that I thought I had but didn't. Since 2008-2009, the Federal Reserve neatly groomed, manicured, and then finally polished investment slopes for all asset classes by lowering interest rates to unprecedented levels, providing a substantial accelerant that indiscriminately drove valuations of all assets higher. But ubiquitously rising valuations cover up a lot of mistakes and often a lack of skill. Whether you had a rigorous investment process or were throwing darts, over the last several years, it hardly mattered. You made money. Bull markets don't last forever, and this one is not an exception. This is true despite some ups and downs the market has had along the way. Stock valuations, price to earnings, are just like a pendulum, swinging from one extreme to the other. Today, the stocks in the S&P 500 index trade far above their average valuation. Historically, above average valuations have always been followed by below average ones, taking away the riches that the previous years provided. In other words, at some point, it's going to snow and snow hard. Just as I, the great skier, found myself overconfident and unable to deal with the new terrain, investors will find themselves doing face plants when the stock market turns from bull to bear. But here's great news. Today, the stock slopes are still finely groomed with stocks near all-time highs, and we all are given a unique opportunity to make adjustments to our portfolios and investment process. You should start by carefully analyzing each stock position in your portfolio. No drooling over how each of them did for you in the past. Drawing straight lines from the past into the future is very dangerous. Instead, focus on the future, a future in which average stock valuations will likely be lower. Returns for a stock are driven by 3 variables: earnings growth, change in price to earnings ratio, and dividend yield. You should impartially examine each variable to determine if a stock deserves to be in your portfolio. Then make one of 3 decisions: buy more, hold, or sell. Just remember, hold is a decision. If you choose not to sell an overvalued stock, one that has low or negative expected returns in the long run, that's a decision. We must all re-examine and future-proof our investment process. Years of rewards and no risk will loosen the process of even the most disciplined investor. Finally, if you're feeling very confident about your investment prowess today, take a moment to relive that gut-wrenching feeling you had the last time the stock market took a 20% dive. This will reset your confidence to the appropriate level and help you to avoid the mistakes that come from focusing too much on reward and too little on risk. You just listened to the post titled Downhill Racing Meets Value Investing by Vitaliy Katsenelson of Contrarian
If you've shopped online, chances are you've bought from a business powered by Shopify. You know that purple Shop Pay button you see at checkout? The one that makes buying so incredibly easy? That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes it incredibly easy to start and run your business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Shopify gives you that leg up from day one with hundreds of beautiful, ready-to-go templates to express your brand style and forget about the code. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/OFD. Go to shopify.com/OFD. Shopify.com/OFD. When investing your money starts to feel like a second job, Betterment steps in with a little work-life balance. It's the automated investing and savings app that handles the work so you don't have to. While they build and manage your portfolio, you build and manage your weekend plans. While they make it easy to invest for what matters, you just get to enjoy what matters. Their automated tools simplify the complex and put your money to work, optimizing day after day and again. So go ahead, take your time to rest and recharge, because while your money doesn't need a work-life balance, you do. Make your money hustle with Betterment. Get started at betterment.com. That's BETTERMENT.com. Investing involves risk. Performance not guaranteed.
I'm not sure about you, but this article stressed me out. Trying to determine if a stock is over or undervalued and when to buy, sell, or hold is one of the things that used to intimidate me about investing. It also sounds like a lot of work, and the stakes are high. What if you mess it up and choose the wrong groupings of stocks for your portfolio? Vitaliy mentioned that a bull market covers up the lack of skill of most investors. But I'll come right out and say it, that I don't have any investing skills. I don't have a crystal ball, and I have no idea which stocks are going to do better than others. I don't know which stocks have low or negative expected returns in the long run. But here's the thing, no one does. Professional investment advisors make predictions all the time on which stocks will do well based on fancy metrics and poring over earnings reports and evaluating trends. But the overwhelming majority are wrong. According to a 2020 report, over a 15-year period, nearly 90% of actively managed investment funds failed to beat the market. Portfolio managers are often Ivy League educated investors who spend their entire workday attempting to outperform the stock market. If investment professionals can't consistently beat the market, why would I even try? If you've been listening for a while, you already know that I'm a huge fan of low-fee total market index fund investing. I'm not thinking about stock valuations because I'm not picking stocks. I'm just buying all of them. And that will do it for today. Have a great day and start to your weekend. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back here reading to you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.